Drum tuning is as close to an art form as playing the drums is. It takes time to develop your own sound and personal feel, and tuning is a big part of that. It takes practice and experimentation. Every drum has a batter side head, which you play, and a resonant side head. The combination of the strike of the batter head, the vibration of the shell, and the reaction between the resonant and batter heads is what makes each drum sing with its own individual character. So it's very important to take the time to tune both heads. The drum key is not only a required tool for tuning, but also for drum maintenance. I'm going to share with you a quick and easy way to get your drum's performance ready by using a method we call tuning in opposites. The entire process consists of 4 steps: preparing the drum head, seating the drum head, getting the head in tune with itself, and then fine-tuning. Since we've already assembled the drums with the tension rods finger tight, let's tune them, beginning with the smallest tom. Using the crisscross pattern, we're going to turn each tension rod 1/2 turn until the wrinkles are taken out of the head. We're going to tighten it until a tone is produced that's a bit higher than what you might want the drum to be. Next, you'll want to seat the head. Seating the head is simply pressing the center of the head with the palm of your hand. It's much like giving your drum CPR. Seating the head pulls the ring around the heads into the channels of the rims, and it helps the drum head conform to the shape of the bearing edge of the drums. When you seat the head, sometimes you'll hear a cracking of a glue ring, so don't be alarmed, that's completely normal. You'll probably notice that the pitch is a little bit lower. This indicates that the head definitely needed seating. After that, you can retighten the head and seat it again. Once the head stays the same pitch, you can repeat the entire process for the bottom head. Put the drum on a clean surface, like a rug or a bath towel, with the head to be tuned facing upwards. This does 2 things. It muffles the opposite head so you can hear just the side you're tuning, and then 2, it allows you to rotate the drum to get from lug to lug without scarring your floor or damaging the rim of the drum. Finger tap the head at each tension rod and listen to the sound that it produces. Make a mental note of where the pitch sounded high, like the last lug I just tapped, and where they sounded low. For everyone that sounded high, rotate the tension rod counterclockwise 1/8 of a turn. For everyone that sounded low, rotate the tension rod clockwise 1/8 of a turn. This is what is meant by tuning in opposites. You're bringing the highs down and the lows up until they meet in the middle at a common pitch. Once you've got all the lugs as close as possible, we're going to seat the head again, and then we're going to tune in opposites until the head has the same pitch all the way around. Heads that are in tune with themselves don't have odd overtones that require muffling. Once the batter side is done, turn the tom over and then repeat the process for the bottom head. Apply this method to your remaining toms, the floor toms, and the bass drum. The Roadshow Series has pre-muffled bass drum heads. Additionally, muffling can be in the form of pillows, blankets, or foam. It's your preference. Your bass drum is like a large tom, so the tuning techniques we've discussed thus far will also apply to this drum. However, bass drums usually require internal muffling or holes cut in the front head to achieve the desired sound. When cutting a hole in your front head, always remember that as the hole gets smaller, the boom gets bigger, and as the hole gets bigger, the boom decreases or gets smaller. We suggest a 4 to 5 inch hole at 8 o'clock or the 5 o'clock position, which will allow a microphone to comfortably be placed inside the drum. Finally, we get to the snare drum. You can use the tuning in opposites method on the top and bottom heads with one exception. Skip the seating of the bottom head because it's very thin. You can dial in just how tight or how loose you want the snares to be with the throw-off mechanism on the side. Turn it counterclockwise to loosen the snares, or clockwise to tighten them. Make sure not to loosen it too much, as the tension dial will unfasten from the throw-off. Now that we're done tuning, you'll be ready to mount your toms to the tom holders. But first, let's put the legs on the floor tom. Place the drum upside down on the table. Insert the legs through the brackets and tighten the wing bolt to secure them into place. At this point, you'll be ready to turn the drum over, right side up, and adjust the height and angle as you need. The 2 heads can be tuned to the same pitch. This will give the drum a pure tone and relatively long sustain. The top head can be tuned higher than the bottom. This allows you to tune your drum low while still maintaining good stick response off the tighter top head. However, the pitch will dive or growl as the drum is played harder. Tuning the bottom head tighter than the top head will produce a shallower sound with a shorter sustain. The sound may still dive or growl, but with a different tonal result. We suggest the largest drum first, and then progress to the smallest when fine-tuning. A popular method for tuning the toms is using the interval of a fourth apart. If you sing the bridal chorus, "Here Comes the Bride," the interval between the here and the comes is a fourth. Here comes the bride. You can fine-tune either head up or down by turning each rod tighter or looser by the same amount. This works much like a zoom lens on a camera. Once it's in focus, you can zoom in or zoom out without affecting its focus. Tuning is something that's all about time, practice, and personal taste. But if you want to take that to the next level and really dial in each drum's fundamental pitch, I recommend TuneBot. This is an electronic drum tuner that can accurately measure the pitch at each tuning point and can not only get you to the desired pitch for each drum, but also store your settings so you can get them anytime for each drum. This is a great product that's an excellent tool for locking in your sound anywhere, anytime. I highly suggest you check out more information on this and other related products at pearldrum.com. The important thing to remember with tuning is not to get discouraged. You'll become more comfortable as you tune your drums over the lifetime of your kit. Experiment with different heads, tunings, and muffling to build a vocabulary of sounds you can choose from. Now, we need to set the whole thing up, and to do that, we'll need to set up the hardware.